It's one of the little short books, so it's hard to find. You're close to the front of your Old Testament, the book of Ruth. For the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about our relationships. We've been talking about how we deal with one another. How do we live with one another? How do we get along? How do we have the type of relationship that God wants us to have? And we believe that God wants us to be authentic in our relationships. God wants us to be real in our relationships. He wants us to glorify Him in our relationships. So we've been looking at God's Word to see how we can do that. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, when we started looking at how God wanted us to be selfless, not selfish, selfless in a relationship. Remember we looked at Abraham and Lot and how Abraham, when the choice was made, he said, Lot, you choose. And Lot, of course, chose the best and what benefited him the most. But Abraham allowed him to do that. If we're putting ourselves first, that relationship's not going to go very far. So we have to be selfless in our relationship. And then last week we looked at forgiveness and how important forgiveness is in a relationship. Well, recently I read a t-shirt. And I saw this somewhere and it said, I would like my wife to be like my car. Then on the back it said, I can trade it in for a new model every couple of years. And I'm thinking, why would anybody even buy that shirt? But unfortunately, that's the society we live in. There's no, I don't know if this is a word or not, there's no stick-to-itiveness anymore. It's a word now, I just declared it. There's no stick-to-itiveness. Whether it's marriage. I've told you about the couple that came to me to be married, and I looked at him and I said, well, what happens if this don't work out? He says, I was looking for one when I found her. They went somewhere else to get married. There's no stick to it. We find it in friends. The first time, somebody that we called a friend said something against us or did something against us or we didn't like or commented, that's it, we're done. There's no stick-to-itiveness in anything we do. We even find it in our relationship with God. We'll do things for God, but the moment we don't think God reacts as we think He should, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to church anymore. I'm not reading my Bible anymore. And so I think there's no stick-to-itiveness. So it leads me to the third thing that I think is so important in having that authentic relationship. And that's loyalty. So today I want us to look at loyalty in our relationships. And to do that, I want us to go into the Old Testament. And I want us to look at the loyalty of a girl named Ruth. Now let me kind of set the first few verses, because we're just going to read a couple verses here, but let me kind of set the story of what's happening in the book of Ruth. There's a famine in the land of Israel. Nothing's growing. And God told His people back in Deuteronomy. He said, if you're going to turn to other gods, if you're not going to follow me, I'm going to dry up the land. I'm going to send a famine to the land. Your crops aren't going to grow. You are to follow me. So it was one of those times when Israel they were following other gods. Well, they wouldn't turn into the God. They was worshiping all kinds of stuff that they shouldn't be. So God just dried it up in their land. There was a famine. And a man named Elimelech, he and his wife Naomi, they took their 2 sons and they went to the land of Moab because there wasn't a famine there. Now Moab was about 100 miles north of where they lived, and so they went there, and it was strange that they went to Moab because throughout Scripture, God doesn't have anything good to say about the Moabites. Matter of fact, when He talks about the most despicable people to the land of Israel, the Moabites are some of the first ones that He lists. They didn't worship God at all. Their main god was this guy named Chechemish or something like that. And how they worshipped him, they sacrificed their children to him. And they thought that pleased him. So this was a really pagan land. And this is where Elimelech takes his family because they have food there. So they go and God's given some pretty strict orders to His people and how they're to react and act with foreigners, with those who believed other than God. But lo and behold, them two sons, they found wives of the Moabite women. One of them's name was Orpah, the other's name was Ruth. And they married them. God has said, don't marry women from other lands because they're going to lead you away from me. Well, the story goes on. Elimelech dies. Sometime later, two sons die. All that leaves is Naomi and these two daughters-in-laws, Orpah and Ruth. And so they have nothing. Now, when we look at that in today's society, well, it sounds like a big deal. There's other folks, there's systems, there's agencies that will care for them, but they'll be okay. Not in that society. In that society, if a female didn't have family to take care of her, she was out. I mean, it would be considered less than what we call homeless. If they didn't have family, and none of them had a husband anymore. Now, a young girl, when she was not married, she's still a virgin, living in her father's house, her father, it was his duty to take care of her. But then once she got married, it became the responsibility of the husband. And if he died, there was nobody to take care of him. So now, here's Naomi, living in a foreign land, with a bunch of pagans, and nobody to take care of her. Well, she gets wind the famine has been lifted in Israel. Crops is growing there again, and folks is eating pretty good. So she decides, I'm going back home. Now we can only assume Naomi, being an Israelite in Moab, probably wasn't treated very good to start with. So she said, I'm going back home. At least I have family there. I have folks who can come to take care of me. So she said, tells the two daughters-in-law, she said, I'm going back home. But here's what I'm going to do for you. You girls are young. You can remarry. Your husband's dead, so that frees you to remarry. I'm going to give you my blessing. I'm going to send you back to your father's house. That way, you're eligible to marry again. Both of them say, oh, no, we love you. We're going to go with you. And Naomi starts on her way, and then both of the daughter-in-laws are going with her. Naomi stops and says, girls, you don't have to go. I'm freeing you. What reason would you have to stay with me? You'll have no family in my land. You'll know absolutely nobody except for me and each other in my land. You'll be a foreigner when you get to my land. Now Israel kind of had a custom. Israel's custom was if oldest son died, his wife would marry the next son down. And then if he died, and it could go on down. But Naomi had no more sons. Both of her sons has died. So she looks at him and she says, I'm an old lady. I'm not going to have any more kids. Even if I could get pregnant and have a kid 9 months from now, and it's a boy, are you going to wait until he's old enough to marry? And you think, 18 years, and no. Girls got married young. 14, 15, maybe even 12 or 13. Guys didn't normally marry until they were 30. So even if she could have a baby boy, were these ladies expected to wait until he became 30 to marry him, to carry on the family name? She says, girls, you don't want that. Go back to your families. And our Bible says that Orpah cried, she hugged her, and Orpah went back to her family. But Ruth didn't. Ruth remained loyal to Naomi. Let's pick up that story now in chapter 1, verse 16. Here's what it says. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go. And where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. Wow. Orpah finally said, okay, you're right. It makes more sense for me to go back home, go back to my father's house. I can remarry there. I can have a life. I can have kids. I can do all those things that we're supposed to do. Ruth says, absolutely not. I am going with you. Now, we've been talking about our relationships. And we've been talking about the relationship we have with each other, relationships with our friends. We can even bring into that our relationship with God. And one of the things that we see lacking so much today in our time is that stick-to-itiveness. When the going gets tough, the tough abandon ship. I mean, we see that so often. As soon as things get rough, I'm out of here. I don't have to be your friend anyway. I don't have to get along with you. I don't even have to talk to you. And we just abandon ship. But in Ruth, we see loyalty. This morning I want us to look at 4 things from the loyalty of Ruth. And I want us to see what a loyal friend has. Number 1, a loyal friend has morals. A loyal friend has morals. Ruth is willing to do the right thing. Ruth is now part of Naomi's family. Yes, her husband has died. Naomi's husband has died. Naomi has even said, you can go back to your family, you can live with them, you can marry again, you have my blessing to do so. But the right thing to do would be to go with Naomi. It wouldn't be the easiest thing. Often we want to take the easiest thing. It wouldn't be maybe even the most popular thing. After all, Orpha done said, yeah, you know what, I think I'm going to miss you, but I'm going back. Maybe it wasn't even the thing that she thought was best for her. But it was the right thing to do. And I think for loyalty in our friendships, there has to be morals. We have to be willing to do what is right. Have you noticed in today's society the lack of morals in folks around us? I mean, there are folks, and if you haven't figured this out yet, I'm just going to tell you. There are folks who will look at you eye to eye and lie to you.
Amen.
There seems to be this downfall of morals in our society, in our relationships. Folks we call friends look you right in the eye and lie to you. But you know what Ruth says to Naomi? I'll even die with you because I'm going to stick with you. I'm going to be loyal. It's the right thing to do. Really, there's not a whole lot expected in relationships. If you really boil it all down to the general, then there's not a whole lot. Me, I have 3 requirements. And I think I can pretty much sum up everything in any relationship with 3 requirements. These are 3 things, so y'all you want to write them down. This is what I'm going to expect from you. Number 1, don't lie to me. One of the requirements I have for folks, do not lie to me. What is it about us as humans? We get this idea that we can lie to another human being and it's okay. We get the idea that it's okay for us to look them if it makes us look a little better. If it makes us seem a little stronger. We get this idea as humans, it's okay for us to lie as long as it covers up some of the stuff that we didn't do or should have done or whatever. A few weeks ago, I had a pastor lie to me. Just right. What he told me was absolutely not true. I don't know if maybe he just thought I looked stupid or something. I don't know. But looked me in the eye and lied to me in what he was telling me. What makes us think that one of my things, don't lie to me. And I tell folks, you want to know how to stay, you want to show morals in a relationship? Number 1, don't lie to me. Number 2, don't steal from me. That's my requirement number 2. So just keep that in mind. I know you well wouldn't do that. Don't steal from me. I'm a giving person. I think I'm a giving person. I try to be a giving person. If you have a need and I can fill that need, I'm probably going to try my best to do it. I'm probably going to try to help if I can. Just ask. Don't steal from me. I told it in a Bible study not long ago that one time I caught a person coming to our church and stealing toilet paper. They had this creative, ingenious way of getting the toilet paper from the church to their car so they could take it home. And what we found out was this has actually went on for a while. You know, when I finally knew for sure and I confronted them face to face, I told them, why didn't you ask? If we have toilet paper here at the church, or even if I have to go buy some, I'll get you some toilet paper. Don't steal from them. What would make a person think that was okay? When we think of our morals, I tell folks, don't lie to me. Don't steal from me. Number 3, do the best that you're capable of doing. One of those things that just really gets on me is a person who can work that don't. I tell my kids there's 3 things I hate: liars, thieves, and persons who don't work. People who don't work. They've heard it before, haven't they? Somebody who can do something. There used to be a time, and I haven't had it for a long time, but we would have folks who come and they need to do community service. So they'd call up the church and, hey, I got to do community service. Got anything we can do? Absolutely. Come on down. And I don't care who they were, man or woman, I give them the same speech. Hi, I'm Pastor Dan. I'll help you out as much as I can, but I have 3 rules. Don't lie to me. Don't steal from me. And I don't care how long it takes you, but when you're done, I want to know that you did the job. I want it to look like you. Had a guy come, swept, mopped the fellowship hall, had it done in an hour, and it was dry. I looked at the man, I said, did you even use water? He swore he did, but I don't see how. Had another girl come, took her 2 days to sweep and mop the fellowship hall. When she was done, it was clean. Do the best of your ability. And one of the things, in my mind, that's not too much to ask. And you know what? I'm going to guess for your relationships, for your friends, they're going to ask the same things. Be authentic. Show morals. A loyal friend has morals. Number 2, a loyal friend is humble. When we look at the story of Ruth with Naomi, one word to describe Ruth would definitely be humble. You want to notice that important thing is her humility. She puts herself below Naomi. Here's a young woman. Been given the okay, go back to your father's house, find another husband, remarry. But she put herself below Naomi. If you read through the rest of the story, it's a great book. Go ahead and read it. There's romance there, there's intrigue there. Anything you like in a story is in the book of Ruth. So read that this afternoon, and let me tell you a little bit about what happens. They get back to Israel, Ruth and Naomi, and Naomi says, hey, they're harvesting the fields, and there's a law here that says you can go glean behind the harvesters. You can go through and pick up what they've left off. And God had even put provisions. Ruth said, like, don't cut the corners out, leave that for the gleaners. And God took care of the poor. So Ruth was going to go and go through the leftovers that fell on the ground after the harvesters come through, in order for she and Naomi to have food. What did she do? She put herself below Naomi. That's humility. And that's what God wants from us. But so many times we don't do that. We want to make ourselves our favorite subject. You ever been around somebody that if they didn't talk about themselves, they'd probably be very, very quiet? Because they kind of take life from the great philosopher Toby Keith. I want to talk about me. I want to talk about I want to talk about number 1. Oh my, oh my. What I think, what I like, what I know, what I want, I want.
Say that again.
I want to talk about me. I want to talk about I want to talk about number 1. Oh my, oh my. I didn't think I could do that. But you know what? When we look at Ruth, she was going to put herself below Naomi. That's humility. That's what God wants from us in our relationships. We don't have to be the top dog. We don't have to be the number 1 subject. If we're going to be loyal to a friend, we're going to have to be humble to that friend. We're going to have to put others before us. Maybe their needs. Maybe their wants. Maybe just them. Put them above the me, the I. For loyalty, there needs to be humility. Number 3, a loyal friend honors God. Loyalty here with Ruth, I believe, is driven by her desire to honor God. Look what she says. She says, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. I'll go wherever you stay. I'll stay. And your God will be what? My God. She's lived with Naomi, and we don't really know how long her family. We don't know how long it was till the boys died or whatever. But so from that, she's learned enough about Naomi's God to say, your God, I'm going to put behind all the gods of Moab. Your God is going to be my God. And I think for loyalty, we have to be willing to honor God. We have to be able to put Him first. Ruth's come to know Him a little bit, and that's not the easiest path for her to choose. The easiest path would have been for her to go back home. It would have been the least painful. It would have probably been the popular opinion of anybody that she asked. But she chose that Naomi's God was going to be her God. And for us to be loyal in our relationships, we need to be willing to honor God. Now, as you read through the rest of the story today, you're going to find a really good ending. After she gets to Israel with Naomi, she's going to meet this guy named Boaz. She and Boaz going to get married. They're going to have a son. You know what? She's going to end up being, I think, the great-great-grandmother to King David. Wow. How did God bless? Why? Because she honored God. Folks, are we honoring God in our relationships? How about our relationships with one another? How about our relationships with church folks? How about our special relationships? That spouse, that boyfriend, that girlfriend. Are we honoring God with them? How about our friends? Loyalty? A loyal friend honors God. Number 4. A loyal friend values the relationship with you. Ruth is going to value the relationship that she has with Naomi. Common sense would have told her, go back to Moab. When Naomi said, you can go back here, everything that would have made sense would have been for her to go home. For her to go back to her father's house. There she'd have somebody to take care of her. She had no promise of anybody taking care of her with Naomi. She would have known she had food. She didn't know if she was going to have food or not with Naomi. She would have known that sooner or later she could probably remarry. Common sense would have said, go back home. But loyalty sometimes isn't what we think makes sense. To her, she valued that relationship that she had with Naomi. Ruth replied to Naomi when she said, I'll go where you go. I'll stay where you stay. Your God will be my God. I'm going to lodge where you lodge. I'm going to, wherever you die, I'll die. I'm going to be buried there too. That was a declaration of love. She loved Naomi to the point where that relationship that she had with her was more important than anything else. Folks, you want to be loyal to a friend? Value the relationship that you have with him. Ruth said, I'll not leave you. I'll not turn my back on you. Where you go, I'll go. Where you stay, I'll stay. Your people will be my people. Where you die, I'll die. That's where I'm going to be buried. And may God deal with me that if I do anything else, may God deal with me before death separates us. I've heard a commitment like that made before. Most of you have too. You've heard that type of commitment. Maybe not phrased exactly the same, but you've heard it. I've heard it many times. I've led people to say that commitment. I will love you, honor you, cherish you. In sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keep me only to you until what? Death do us part. Some of y'all nodded like you've said that before.
You forgot to obey.
I don't tell everybody to obey. Just a few. But you know, it's the same commitment. Are we willing to value that relationship with the commitment we made? Just like Ruth valued that same commitment with Naomi. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be your very best friend until death do us part. When we think of relationships, a loyal friend values that relationship. But not today, does it? They start putting all this other stuff ahead of us, ahead of the relationship. Career has to come first. Finances has to come first. Friends have to come first. We start putting all these things ahead of the relationship that we should value. We start setting all these goals and all these things. I got to do this and I got to do this. I got to be the big man around town. And you know what's going to suffer? Our relationships. The relationship that we have with one another. The most important thing to Ruth was her relationship with Naomi. Now folks, I want to ask you something. Where is the loyalty? Where's the loyalty level in your relationships? Let's start with our friends. Where's our loyalty level with our friends? Oh, they're our friends as long as they're nice to us. As long as they help us out when we need help and don't expect anything from us. They're our friends as long as they're saying good things about us. But the moment that changes, that's it. I'll find new friends. Or do we have a stick-to-itiveness in our friendships? Let's go a little farther. How about our love relationships? Our spouse. Do we value that relationship? Putting ourselves below the other person. Guys, ladies, just block this out for a moment. I need to speak to the guys. I want to give you a word of advice. Now take this from Pastor Dan. You don't always have to be right. I know. That's strange for some of you and a whole new concept. But you know, in Ruth we realize that we need to humble ourselves. Do you value that relationship? Are you loyal in it? But folks, let's take it to the ultimate in our relationships. How about our relationship to God? If we're going to be authentic, you say, oh, Pastor Dan, I'm in church. I ain't brought my Bible. I stayed awake the whole sermon today. That should be good enough, right? If we're going to be authentic, we have to be loyal to God in our relationship. Not part-time, not half-time, not three-quarter time. Loyal to Him. Doing what? Humbling ourselves, putting ourselves below Him. Making Him first place in our life. Maybe this morning you're here and you say, my relationship with God's suffering. It's time to change that. It's time to make that right. I want to give you the opportunity to do that. We're going to sing a song. And as we sing, maybe right where you're at. Or maybe you want to come and kneel here at the front. Use this as your altar. But maybe you need to say, God, I have relationships that's not right. And I will start by confessing that sin to you. Turning from it because I want to make that relationship right. I've been loyal in my relationship. Maybe it's with a friend. Maybe God's already brought to your mind a friend that you need to restore a relationship with. Start by confessing that sin to God. And then go into that friend. Maybe for you it's a marriage relationship. You say, well, I've been loyal to my spouse. And she does everything I tell her she has to do. Maybe it's time to surrender to God's way of loyalty. Or maybe this morning for you, it's your relationship with God that's suffering. You've been part-time, half-time, maybe even three-quarter time. But now it's time to be loyal in that relationship. Maybe you need to ask God's forgiveness and turn to Him. Maybe today while we sing this song, we just need to go to Him in prayer. Maybe you're here today and you've never entered into a personal relationship with God. But today you've realized you're a sinner. That Jesus died for you. And you want to surrender your all to Him. No, I invite you to do that while we sing. Or maybe while we sing, there's just something that's been weighing heavy on you. And you just need to go to God and take it to Him in prayer. Whatever God wants to do in your life, will you let Him? Will you say yes while we sing this song? Father God, thank you for your word. Lord, thank you for each person and the way you've spoken to their lives and what you've said to them. Now, Lord, it's up to us to respond. So, Lord, I want to pray for each person here that however you've spoken to them, whatever change you want them to make, that they'll say yes. They'll turn and follow you. Or maybe we're not being loyal in our relationships. But Lord, we want relationships that honor you. So we confess that sin and turn from it. In Jesus' name.